Hello, experiential learners. This is Steve Young, your course instructor. Welcome to Psych 329 Experiential Learning for the fall 2025 semester. And I want to congratulate all of you on your internships. And we're going to do a quick rundown of the course syllabus to make sure you are aware of certain things that are expected or required in this course. So this course is a little bit different than a lot of the classes you've probably had before. It is not an academic course per se, where you're taking exams, writing research papers, but there are things that will be expected of you throughout the term, assessment and processing activities. So let's get right into it. So just a little bit about the course itself. We have the description of the course, as you can see listed here, and then we have our course learning objectives. So we're going to keep a really close eye on these learning objectives throughout the semester. We want to make sure that we are, when I say we, I'm being held accountable to make sure that we are fulfilling these learning objectives for you. So you see there, goal setting, problem solving, learning how to communicate your internship to a future opportunity, making connections between the theoretical aspects of your degree and your internship. Also, examining how your assumptions and beliefs about psychology are maybe being challenged through this experience. We're going to get into a little bit of self-assessment, and you're going to have two opportunities in this course where you receive feedback from your supervisor. How do you manage and apply that feedback? And then finally, we're going to ask you to engage in several professional development tasks that align with your internship site. So we have weekly modules for this course. So the modules run Sunday through Monday. And assignments are always due on a Sunday at 11:59 p.m. We have, I believe, 3 discussion forums in this course. So your initial post is typically due on a Thursday at 11:59 p.m. And then you're to compose meaningful replies rather, to a minimum of 2 of your classmates' posts by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Now, I think one of our discussions for this term, I think the initial post is due on a Friday due to a religious holiday. So just keep your eyes open. That initial posts are always due a few days before your reply posts. Here are our weekly course topics and themes. We, again, want to make sure that you are making the most of your internship experience and you are making an effort to meaningfully process the experience. A lot of students sometimes see, yeah, I can just document the tasks and functions I'm performing in my internship, and that's good. Yeah, that's part of it, documenting, but we want you to move beyond that. So we're going to really get those neurons firing in this course and help you to look and examine your internship from multiple aspects and perspectives. So these are some of what we would call the business items for this course. One of the first business items is an intern professional expectations agreement that you will review and sign. It's a Qualtrics form, and you'll submit that by, I think, September 14th is the deadline for that. And if you are working in a clinical setting where you're working directly with clients, it is advised that you inquire about any liability insurance that your site might have, or we have this link here for obtaining liability insurance. There's a Qualtrics timesheet that you'll be asked to complete at the end of the term, and that will automatically be forwarded to your supervisor for review and approval. Keep in mind that that timesheet is very important. You cannot complete this course, or I should say pass this course, without having that timesheet approved by your supervisor. So you want to really keep an eye on that, tracking your hours every week. They don't have to sign it every week. We just need it submitted at the end of the semester. And required assessments, required learning events for this course. We knew, for our first 2 weeks, we start off kind of easy. We ease into it a little bit. You have an introduction post that will be due on September 14th, the end of our week number 2. There is a learning goal development plan that you'll put together. We have a template created for that and a tutorial to help guide you through that. Learning goals, having learning objectives really lays the foundation for having a meaningful internship experience. You will have 2 supervisor evaluations or performance appraisals, one at the midterm and one at the end of the semester, that are both worth 50 points that your supervisor will complete on you. And we have something called the reflective dialogue primer, learning how to engage in meaningful reflection. It might sound kind of silly, but particularly those of you that are looking to become future helping professionals, it's important that you understand how what is reflection and what is active listening, and how do I, again, meaningfully and helpfully engage in reflection about my lived experiences. Some of the other required assessments for this course is we have 2 discussions there on the left, where we want you really thinking about psychology and how this experience is maybe shaping or furthering your breadth and depth of understanding related to your field of study, that being psychology. We have a self-assessment questionnaire that we'll ask you to complete, and then a discussion on that self-assessment to kind of think about, again, where are you at in terms of your growth, learning, and development relative to this internship. And as I mentioned, I don't think I mentioned it actually, but there's a professional development task proposal we'll ask you just to put together. It's not anything major, but where we're asking you to choose 2 professional development tasks from this resource link here, and think about those professional development tasks. What actions are you going to take to complete those tasks? And then later in the semester, we have you, towards the end of the term, we have you providing evidence that you completed those 2 professional development tasks. The culminating assignment of this course is just an internship mini poster, where you're asked to reflect upon your learning goals. How did you find this experience? What's the mission of your internship site? How does this experience relate to your future career path? How has it confirmed or maybe helped you go in a different direction? What skills and abilities and knowledge have you acquired, and so forth. We have a template created for this. This will be due the last day of the semester, which is December 12th. And then we give you an option in this course. We have these 4 wildcard assignments, and you just have to do 2 of the 4. So you see them listed here: internship story, where you're providing us, that's a really great assessment if you want to help future psychology majors learn about your internship and how they might benefit from doing similar experience. You can do a final evaluation on your internship site. We have an experiential learning theory quiz. Since this course is called experiential learning, it's important to know a little bit about what is experiential learning theory and how can I apply it to my internship experience. And then we have I recommend myself letter as to how this experience is preparing you for a future opportunity, whether that be graduate school or employment. As I mentioned, there are 3 discussion forums in this course, and we have listed here kind of the expectations related to the discussion forums. We try to, in this course, use what's called the RISE model for peer feedback, where you are reflecting on what your classmate is saying, you're maybe speaking back to them, you're maybe reiterating back to them something they mentioned, you might inquire, you might pose a question or 2 in your reply post. You might elevate the discussion and so forth. So we try to use that to, again, have the discussion forums have a little bit of, for lack of a better term, meat and potatoes, if you will. Here is the assignment calendar. So when things are due in this course. Again, you don't have anything due till the 14th, which is pretty nice. We give you, I should say, you have your initial post due Thursday, September 11th. But you don't really have anything truly due until the 14th in this course. So we gave you a little bit break with the Labor Day, the shortened Labor Day week and such. And so you want to keep an eye on this calendar. It's important to know that assignments must be submitted through Canvas. There will be one or two assignments where you'll be using, again, a Qualtrics link, so you won't be submitting anything through Canvas. I don't really accept emailed assignments. I got a lot going on. I get a lot of emails, so please get your assignments submitted through Canvas. And uh, only 2 wildcard assignments must be completed, and we got the dates of the course listed there. So here is how you'll be graded in this course, the point distributions, and we have also the grading scale listed up here. And sometimes in this course, students will say to me, Steve, I've put so much effort and investment in my internship. Why am I getting a B? Well, more than likely it's because you didn't turn an assignment in. So your grade is really based, I would say 90% of it is based on the quality of work you're producing in the assignments, the assessments listed here. And now we do have the evaluations. Those are 100 points, so roughly 10% of your grade are the site supervisor evaluations that you see here. But other than that, it's and the timesheet and the professional expectations agreement, it's really the quality of work that you're producing. How are you doing with meaningfully processing, reflecting on this experience? Here's a little bit about a late assignment. So I have kind of a no tolerance policy with late assignments. I know that might seem really harsh, but it is what it is. I'm a very busy guy. I don't have time to be figuring out, okay, it's turned in 2 days late, that's 10% off. It's turned in a week late, that's 50% reduction. No. So get your assignments in. Communication is really important. If you have something coming up, obviously, if an emergency comes up, you can let me know that. I'm a human being first. So, but um, I don't want to really have you contacting me the day after assignments due and then letting me know of something. So you should always make an effort to be proactive and communicate, not just with me, but all your instructors. If you would need an extension on an assignment, some of you may be eligible for ADS accommodations, so you may need to remind me about that if you receive extended time in submitting assignments and such. And we are under the honor code in this course, so we are expecting you not to engage in plagiarism or anything of that sort. In the next slide, we have the acceptable levels of collaboration chart that tells you, what you can use for different assignments, what's acceptable and what's not. If you are repeating this course, it's very important to note that you are not to submit um, any duplicate content from your previous go around with this course. I'm pretty good about checking that. And so we don't want any self-plagiarism happening. So again, if you're repeating the course, that's very important to remember. And here is the collaboration chart. So you can just take a look at this and kind of see what are the acceptable levels of collaboration that you can use in this course for all of the different learning events that we posed for you. And finally, we have some success resource links here for you. I'm big on diverse perspectives, so I don't think it's ever good to have just one way of thinking about things. So we are open to diverse perspectives in this class, provided they don't violate the statement of free speech values that is posed by the University of Maryland. So that is the syllabus in a nutshell. I'm really excited for all of you Congratulations on your internship. I know for me, when I did my internship as an undergraduate many years ago, it really helped to chart the course of my future career path now looking back on it. So congratulations again, and I look forward to all of our communications. Take care.